Well, both these countries coming off tough losses. Puerto Rico falling to Mexico, the host of this bubble, and Cuba losing to the United States late. What a thriller that turned out to be. Of course, those are the standings. So the USA and Mexico 1-0, and Puerto Rico taking on Cuba, followed by later today in this group, Mexico at home against the United States. Well, if you look back at history, you would think that certainly Puerto Rico would be the favorites in this game. One of the powerhouses in the Americas, and really always playing in the big tournaments. Puerto Rico, including most recently when they played at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 in China. But that man just running out right there, Jaciel Rivera, has changed everything. He had a tremendous performance the other night against the United States, playing as he has also back in Spain, where he now is with Valencia Basket. Of course, before he won a FIBA Basketball Champions League title with Burgos, and he has changed everything. He makes them a real threat in this game, and Puerto Rico will have watched the United States struggle against Cuba, and they will be on notice that if they don't bring it tonight, they could end up falling in this game. So very exciting prospects ahead of us. There's Carlos Arroyo, the legend of Puerto Rican basketball, who famously shot down the United States at the 2004 Olympics on the opening day. He's here watching tonight, and now part of the decision-making process with Puerto Rico basketball, general manager, and this is a Puerto Rico team, the Puertoquas, that have changed coaches. There you have the new one, Nelson Colon. Of course, he's replaced Eddie Casiano. Eddie Casiano saying he's giving his full backing to Colon, who's right behind him, but Casiano also did a fine job in the several years that he was in charge, most recently at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament that was played in Serbia. So we're going to have a pause in the commentary for the playing of the national anthems.
Por favor, permanezcan de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Puerto Rico. Según el protocolo de COVID-19, damos la bienvenida a los equipos a intercambiar un saludo social a distancia.
NBA champion in his time with the Dallas Mavericks, and anybody that thought his national team days were over were sadly mistaken. He's come out to play in this window and certainly intent on helping Puerto Rico get a win in this window. They're facing each other, these two countries, for the third time in the World Cup qualifiers, with the Puerto Rico winning the previous two encounters. Of course, that's going back to the qualifiers for the last World Cup. So there are the referees for today: Juan Fernandez, Gonzalo Salguero Marti, and Jesus Lopez from Argentina, Uruguay, and Venezuela, respectively. Nine of Puerto Rico's last 10 games in the World Cup qualifiers ended with a single-digit margin, including each of the last 5. And they are 3-2 in those games. But right now we're going to look at Cuba, again, who have lost their 7 games in the World Cup qualifiers, but coming off a very positive display against the United States. 3 of those 7 losses have seen margins of 6 points or fewer, and the other 4 decided by margins greater than 20. They scored 90 against the USA the other night. That was their best ever tally in the competition. And Puerto Rico are the only team in the Americas to have seen a player with 20+ points, 5+ rebounds, and 5+ assists in multiple games, including Hezriel de Jesus, who had 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists against Mexico. Also, Gary Brown pulled off that feat, the point guard, against Mexico in 2018. Well, Hasiel Rivero had 34 points against the United States, and that was quite an eye-opener, I think, for everybody that was watching. Of course, in Europe, everybody knows about him. Carol Guzman, Yoanqui Mencia, Osmel Oliva, Yorman Polas, and Hasiel Rivero in the starting 5 for Cuba. Bueno, Chacon, Coutin, Valdez, and Cubilla coming off the bench for Coach Moya. Rivero also had 31. Whenever he puts on the Cuba shirt, he gets it done, that's for sure. So Eduardo Moya is hoping to pull the right strings tonight for Cuba, as they look to beat the Qualifiers. And I think they will have taken a lot of confidence from their last performance against the USA. Talking about Cuba. For Puerto Rico, again, we saw them at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Serbia, and I thought they battled really well. They battled hard under Coach Eddie Casiano, and I thought he did some really good things with the national team that he once played for. Now, this Puerto Rico team that's coached by Nelson Colon has Isaiah Piñero, Hezriel de Jesus, Jose J.J. Barrera, Ismael Romero, and Christopher Ortiz in the starting 5, with Howard, Rodriguez, Collier, Parker, Rivera among the substitutes. And again, there is Colon, and he was ecstatic to be put in charge of Puerto Rico, but also cognizant of the responsibility that goes on with that. Expectations traditionally have been very high for Puerto Rico, and I think, you know, that first defeat probably has put them under a little more pressure than they wanted to be coming into this game against Cuba. So Puerto Rico getting all their ducks in a row here, putting the finishing touches on their pregame pep talk to come out and take on a very competitive, a very upbeat, optimistic, confident Cuba here in Mexico, the Mexico bubble, and the Chihuahua bubble, if you will. So let's listen to the coach.
A big guy to the top, and guy behind, open, and he goes relay here.
Hey, don't let him get rhythm early, man. Early. We gotta play defense early. Hey, in transition, if they're at an advantage, take a foul. Take a good foul or foul them down. Go for the ball. Go for
First offense. First offense. Atiende. Chris, Piñeiro, Macho.
So there is Rivero hoping to steer his team to victory tonight. What would it be like to see Cuba at the FIBA Basketball World Cup? There will be 7 teams from the Americas that make it. Last time they made it, 1994, when the competition was played in Canada. They finished 15th. And they played in 1986 when it was Spain that hosted the competition. So 1974, which was actually in Puerto Rico. So 1970. And the last time the Cuban men were at the Olympics, you have to go back a ways, back in 1980 in Moscow, where they finished 6th. They were 3rd at the Olympics in Munich. So 1972, that was quite a year for Cuban basketball. Well, hello everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, welcome, good morning, wherever you're watching. We are in Chihuahua, Mexico, and watching Puerto Rico take on Cuba. Rivero inbounds the basketball. Cuba launch one from deep, and they start things off just as they would have hoped, getting the early bomb for the 3-0 lead. So Mencia showing his range. He had 12 points against the USA. Hit both of his threes in that game. Pinheiro puts it down low, and now a little give and go action. Passes it back outside. Into the corner it goes, and Puerto Rico answer with a 3. Nice shoot from Christopher Ortiz. Rivero has it. That is a load. I'm not sure anybody can stop him in that Puerto Rico team. That's just throwing that out there. But certainly nobody stopped him for the most part in his last game. And again, his stock is going way up in Europe, where he plays in Spain, the toughest league, domestic league in Spain and Europe. Nice drive down low. The answer by Ismael Romero, but quickly to the other end, throwing it down was Guzman. Well, the Puerto Ricans sending a Cubans sending a message out early on. You better get back, because they're not afraid to push the ball up the floor quickly. Down on the baseline, and missing was Romero. Three-point shot, and Guzman misses, but another opportunity for the Cubans. Nice spin, and the basket is good. So Mencia gets his second hoop, this time inside, as Cuba go up by 4. Well, it's a pretty good start for both teams shooting the basketball wise. De Jesus, who had a big night the other night in defeat to Mexico, it's his first jumper. Here's Rivero again, backing his way up. Gets the basketball back. Will he try to go again? And he gets it up, but they're crashing the boards, and they're getting the score with the putback. Guzman. Well, why not? Attack low. And J.J. Barea gets blocked. Quick outlet pass, up ahead it goes, and once again Cuba off and running. So Polas, Yorman Polas gets his first bucket. turnover gets the ball back over to Cuba. There's a nice spot by Oliva, getting it up the court. Of course, Polas plays in Germany with Lewisburg, another team in the Basketball Champions League. Here he is catching it down low. Guzman, rather. Three-point attempt is good. Polas is a long way from Germany, and he was a long way from the hoop there, but it didn't stop him from making it. And quickly to the other end. No, that's not going to count. And goodness me, you know the alarm bells must be ringing down in San Juan right now as Cuba jump out to a 16-7 lead. Three-point shot is good. Wow. On fire, Cuba. Oliva shaking his head like there's more where that came from. And Colon gets a timeout. Wants to try to knock the Cubans out of their rhythm. Because right now on the court, they are looking good.
They scored 50%. We're talking about otro punto. What's out? Estamos looking the ball. One step back, one step back, one step back. Listen, next defense. Talking about defense now. Next defense. Piñeiro, Jose y Macho. Ismael y Chris. 12. 1-2-2 zone. Viene la bola. We got the ball. Swing it. You come. Take the gap. Middle and middle. If they go here, you come. Piñeiro go down. Y tú, el que estaba en la bola, take the Piñeiro gap. Okay? Del otro lado, Piñeiro está aquí, ball pressure, they swing, you go with him, gap, middle, in front, ball here, vamos ahí. Piñeiro baja.
Hey, work out again, man.
Okay?
Well, Cuba were able to hit the three-point shot against the United States as well. So it's no surprise that they're reining them in right now. They're 10-25 against USA, and in that game against USA, they actually led by as many as 11 points. But it's one thing to lead in a game; it's another thing to continue to lead and to romp to victory. You would expect a reaction here from Puerto Rico coming out of that timeout. And stepped out of bounds. Barea. Barea is not going to make any friends with the referees, arguing and then dropping the ball a long way from where the ball has to be inbounded. Polas did not have a particularly good shooting night the other night. Now the ball thrown out of bounds by Guzman. One thing that Cuba did pretty well was they didn't turn it over against the United States. They only had 10 in the game. And they didn't really force too many either. USA had 14 turnovers. So Barea comes out of the game. And Romero goes out. Jordan Isaiah Howard and Parker Rivera come in. And chasing back on defense, Howard blocks the ball out of bounds. They swing it. Mencia again. really understanding that foul. Parker looked like he was just boxing out. Three-point shot, short. And Puerto Rico get the ball back. Good hustle from Oliva. Puerto Rico passing it around. Pinheiro pulls up and hits the shot. Isaiah Pinheiro. Playing in Turkey now. Another Basketball Champions League club. And the dump, and Cuba again missed. Now chance to run for the Qualifiers. Pinheiro tries to make the pass, but he turns it over. Los Cubanos come the other way. They get it down low to Rivero, who puts it up and in. Well, just as Puerto Rico can run, so can the Cubans. Long three, and Pinheiro flies in for the offensive rebound, misses. But De Jesus also gets one. They bring it back out. Cuba, Gamble. And Puerto Rico turn it over. So he stepped out of bounds as well. That's not been a good spot for Puerto Rico tonight, but he has stepped out of bounds as well. So nearly 7 minutes into it, Cuba with a 12-point lead. Shooting from the elbow. And Cubilla right into the game, scores for Cuba. And the lead's his biggest of the game now, 14 points for Cuba. Remember, they have not won a game in the Americas qualifiers before, but then again, they haven't really had a strong team, a team as strong as this. Oh, nice anticipation. De Jesus goes up and lays it in. Well, turnovers are just toxic, aren't they? Coaches hate them, and for that reason, coaches of the teams that commit them, obviously. They tried to throw the ball over the defense. Parker Rivera was there. De Jesus trying to dazzle with his dribble a little bit. Now the Qualifiers coming into it a little bit. You can feel it, the momentum. They're throwing the ball out of bounds. Ortiz is going to take a seat. And Jordan Bernard Murphy checks into the game. Polas also goes out, take a breather, and Joaquim Mencia comes back in. Puerto Rico settling for the jump shot. Cubilla with the rebound, but they turn it over, and it's like a layup drill all of a sudden for De Jesus. That's his second. Well, coach doesn't look overly concerned at this point. Cubilla. There he goes, getting it down low, and Guzman. Carol Guzman back to 12-point advantage for Cuba here, coming up on the 9-minute mark, 9 minutes played mark rather, in the first quarter. Oh, good reach and steal. Mencia now a little back and forth. Cuba get it back. So the reach and the foul. That was Omari Bueno, who missed the shot, but he was able to get it back. Look at, they have some type of blood on his shoulder, kind of a cut. Jump down low to Mencia. And he was fouled. Much to the annoyance of Bernard Murphy. A little shaking and baking. Turning it over. So with 52.2 seconds left, they called traveling on Mencia. And Puerto Rico looked to make further inroads into this 12-point deficit. Isaac Sosa in the game as well. Here's Isaiah Howard missing. And Cuba like to run. Out on the wing. Wow, how about Mencia? He has started like a house on fire tonight. Three-point shot from the wing, and the Boricua get three back. And that's how the first quarter finishes. Puerto Rico giving up 27 points in that opening frame. Nelson Colon's got some work to do over there in that D. Cuba lead at 27-16 over Puerto Rico. Cuba shooting the basketball very well, 9 of 13 inside the arc, 3 of 6 from deep. Puerto Rico not bad, but certainly on the back foot, being out rebounded by Cuba. They've got some work to do. Here's a look back at that first quarter action, where for a team that has never won a game in the America's qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup, Cuba looked confident and relaxed, and they came right out and got after Puerto Rico. Their biggest lead in this first half has been 14 points, and right now it's 11. They've also turned the ball over, and that is not going to be a recipe for success if that keeps up. Puerto Rico takes as many steals and easy layups like that they can get. They know you can't be careless with the ball around De Jesus. He'll pick your pocket, or he'll intercept a pass. So Isaac Sosa there. Want to keep up with his stats? Well, just scan that in right there, and you'll be able to keep up with him and everybody else in this game. All the live stats. Also, we got the great World Cup Qualifiers app. You can load that into your smartphone. You can go to FIBA.basketball. Follow all the action from all the World Cup qualifiers. They're coming right out and hitting a three-pointer for Puerto Rico is Isaac Sosa. Marcos Chacon hands it off to Rivera, who will also take a three, but he usually spends most of his time down low. Here he is in the paint. And Bernard Murphy rebounded. Now pulling up on the break. Here's Rivera again. Oh boy, that looked awkward and traveling. Not surprising, was the call on Marcos Chacon. Puerto Rico taking their time here. Nope, they're not. Another three attempt. This one's short. Nestor Kutin in the game, number 6. He's got the ball. And gets it over to Chacon. And now a little jumper in the lane. And Cuba's starting to cool off a little bit. So this time, Chacon guilty of the push. So again, showing his range. Cool, calm, and collected. He can hit it from deep, or he can come inside. With the 10-footer, the 15-footer. Doesn't matter where he is. He's got a good stroke. Chacon slipped down now. Shares the basketball and air ball by Kutin. And that lead is eroding quickly. Too much for Cuba's liking. So Coach Eduardo Moya calls timeout. It's time to reorganize.
Subo para atrás, te pregunto. Esto es muy está perdido. Te explico. Atienda, como iniciamos. Decía, no puede estar parado, tiene que desmontarse, no se puede estar atrás. Es pase a 2, el 5 está aquí. Se va, el 1 pone pantalla de foto para que entre lo que estábamos haciendo. Vale. Volvemos ahí. Corrámosla con tranquilidad. Lo otro es, si no hacemos pase a 2, empuja, antiguo, empujo. Paso aquí, la pantalla entre ustedes.
Vamos, Cajero, vamos.
So back to live action. Coming out of the timeout. Cuba trying to interrupt this run by Puerto Rico. Sosa has been good. Bernard Murphy started to make his move, but he lost control. Excuse me, that was Parker Rivera, I think. Mencia gets in and is fouled on his drive to the basket. So Daquan Parker Rivera goes out and Jonathan Rodriguez comes in. Meanwhile, Mencia is at the stripe. He's been their most reliable scorer so far. 7 points is a team high. Sosa has a game high 8 points for Puerto Rico. He's got the basketball now. Here he is again. Sosa stepping into it off the front of the rim. Romero with the offensive rebound and then the foul on Cuba. Guzman not liking that call. And Romero misses his first attempt. And he misses both. Could be the man you want to foul if you get into a situation. You know, Puerto Rico were their own worst enemies the other night, making just 25 free throws. And Romero was just 1 of 7 that night. So that, I'm afraid, was more of the same for him. Oh, nice drive from Mencia. So he continues to pour in the points. And here is Romero this time getting it up and in. Rivera passes up the 3. Stays with it, but Puerto Rico rebounded. Now quickly running. So Rodriguez goes back out. Jonathan Rodriguez. Coming back in is and now the flying dunk from Romero, and he says no need for the free throws, but instead he actually, in fact, he does actually get fouled, so he's got a chance for a 3-point play. Look at this. Roll pick and roll and dunk. Nice play by Howard. Well, that dunk had to get the attention of the Cubans, that's for sure. But that free throw would have gotten the attention as well. Yeah. I think he prefers that to the jump shot, to the free throw. Guzman pulls up and the left-hander misses. Pass to the corner. Cuba not giving up the baseline. Sosa. And an offensive foul called on Puerto Rico, gives it back. They called the foul on Isaac Sosa. So it's Andujar, Isaiah Howard, Bernard Murphy, Romero, and Sosa. Well, let's see here. Now coming baseline. So Cuba give it back to Puerto Rico. So it's Andujar, Isaiah Howard, Bernard Murphy, Romero, and Sosa on the floor right now. Note De Jesus has come back in for Sosa. Wow, tickling the twine, Isaiah Howard. So now 3-point game. Polas back outside to Guzman. This is everything, but Rivera there for the offensive rebound and fouled by Romero going up for the putback. A lot of holding and what have you down there. And the Valencia basket man misses the first. Back to a 4-point lead after the Rivera free throw. Isaiah Howard. There goes Romero again. Wow. You got to foul him and put him on the line for the 2 free throws, but don't let him make the shot. That's where you made the mistake. He is proving to be quite formidable in that low post. Vaqueros de Bayamon, club he plays for. And the drive, and Guzman fouled as he goes up, so he's got 2 free throws coming. Nelson Colon is the coach of Vaqueros, so he knows Romero very well. And Guzman gets it to drop. Cuba clinging to the lead now. You can feel it. And Rivera kept it alive. Cuba going to keep it at this end. Now Rivera gets it and just turns, misses. They stay with it, and Romero comes away with it. He's off to the races. Look at him go, big number 28. He's not messing around now, is he? He's fouled as he goes for the reverse, and he will go back to the line. Guzman, not sure what he's laughing at. I guess maybe laughing at his attempt to play defense on this. So Bernard Murphy goes out. Pinheiro comes back into the game. Guzman also goes out, and Lisvan Valdez comes in. So Romero, if he can make some free throws here, he could tie it up, but he misses the first. He does so many other things for you so well. Rebounding, scoring some of those dunks and layups that it's worth keeping him in the game. Playing defense as well. Another foul is going to put Pulas on the line. So the foul on Romero is he took the pump fake. Yeah, that's a good call. If you bite on the pump fake, and then there's contact like that, you're going to get the foul. So Barea back in the game. And Pulas gets 1 of 2. So it's a 3-point lead again. Oh, beautiful bounce pass, Barea. Wonderful play. Gets it to De Jesus. Let's see again. It's been a load. Unsuccessful there. Now Barea. It opens up for him. He passes. Dangerous pass. De Jesus puts it up, and Pinheiro not able to grab the rebound. And Rivera fouled by Pinheiro. What a pass that was by Barea. Look at this. Zing. It's very basic, isn't it? The bounce pass. Cuba going 2 of 4 for their last 4 free throws. Rivera makes 1 of 2. And once again, Cuba up by 2. De Jesus brings the ball up. Pinheiro to the corner. Spinning, and Pulas grabs the rebound. Andujar not able to get it to go. And Mencius gets it to Rivero, who has a double team. So Mencius says, I have been making these all night. You're not going to come and guard me. But another foul call down low is going to put Rivero on the line. So Rivero again goes 1 of 2 at the line, and the lead now is 3. Cuba shooting 7 of 12 at the charity stripe tonight. Just 1 of 6, meanwhile, for Puerto Rico. Final minute and a half coming up here of the first half. Andujar. This is down low. Now Barea lets it fly. And it goes out of bounds. And back over to Cuba. Oh, nice pass. Oh, look at him share the basketball. And Rivera is going to make his 3rd trip to the free throw line here in the last minute. So Andujar goes out. Sosa comes back in. Trying to give Puerto Rico that little bit of a lift offensively here at the end of the first half. Rivera takes his time this time and makes the first free throw. So the lead goes back up to 5 points, and we've got a timeout here. We're going to get a chance to draw up some plays here at the end of the first half. Let's go down to the bench.
Tiene Jose o Macho, whatever. Primer pase a Sosa. Jose o Macho te va. Pop out. Esto aquí es un handoff. Handoff. Now you got the ball. Swing it to Murphy. Murphy goes straight to handoff con Jose o Macho, whatever. Tú estás aquí. Ya. Viene un handoff. La tiene Jose, Macho. Y este fue Murphy. Dice. Inside the paint. Inside the paint. Sosa. Elevator. Tú pasas, we close. When Sosa comes, el de abajo, que es Piñero, when Sosa pasa, moving to the other side. Entonces tú estás en tu ruta, Piñero, Murphy, y sale Sosa. Middle, high-low, dribble, high-low action. Exacto. Tú la das a Sosa y corta. La coge Murphy y va hand-off contigo. Hand-off contigo. Cuando tú la tienes, Piñero y Murphy, Piñero la Sosa. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So Colon calls the play. Let's see what Puerto Rico do here as they try to cut into this 5-point deficit. And now the battle down low, and Jaciel Rivera called for a hold. Was it a shot to the arm of Sosa? I just kind of hit him with the midsection. It looks like Sosa's injured his left arm. Sometimes you can get an awkward injury. Barea leaves the game. So Jonathan Rodriguez comes back in. Well, the knock didn't affect his shooting. At least not on that one. So he gets both of them to go. So back to Cuba. Polas. And Mencia, oh, what a tough finish. He has been utterly terrific tonight. Fouled on the play. He will go to the line for a three-point play. Look at this again. Yeah, Bernard Murphy went for the swat. Colon said when he was being appointed that he had dreamed of one day playing for Puerto Rico, but then freely admitted that while he wasn't a good enough player, you know, he still fulfilled the dream because he's been able to coach the Puerto Rico, which has a lot of really legendary players. When you look back in their history, you can understand how they would have captured the imagination of everybody on the island. So the basketball inbounded. Here's Sosa, 6-point lead. Penetration to Jesus, swatted, and another chance for Cuba. Quickly up to Mencia. Oh, he throws it down. An exclamation mark on their first half performance, taking it back up to an 8-point lead. It's like all of a sudden they want to play a little bit faster. Here's Barea. Oh, what a finish from the established pro. And Barea chirping away at the referee. And I think they've called a technical on Barea. Look at this. See if he's fouled. No, I don't think so. Terrific finish. So no technical foul was called, in fact, just the way they stopped. So anyway, very fun, interesting first half. Cuba lead at 43-37 over Puerto Rico at halftime. And Puerto Rico actually have one more three now than Cuba. And Cuba have had a lot more trips to the line, shooting 66%. But Cuba more than doubling up Puerto Rico on the boards. And Mencia has been terrific with 14. Borrevero has 9. Guzman has 7. Sosa leading the way for Puerto Rico with 10. Well, I know you want to see the best plays from the first half, so we're going to show them to you. Isaiah Romero getting some work done down low, but how about that man right there? Also getting some work done. And Polas. So Guzman had that early dunk. He's got 7 points. There he is, the provider, getting it to Rivero, who you saw has 9. Not shooting great though, Rivero, just 2 of 6 from the floor. And that was punishing him. Getting out on the break was De Jesus. That was just a really bad pass by Kabia. Guzman scoring down low again. Here's Sosa, the Sosa factor. Let's say he's a Sosa three-point shooter. There we go. And again, you see he has spent many of hours in the gym or on the playground practicing because his mechanics are very good. But you gotta like Mencia's approach as well. He is going for it tonight, isn't he? Just like this guy does every time he plays. Howard, he just loves it. And that was Howard throwing it down. Howard providing a little bit of foul power out of the perimeter. And how about, let's have another look at Mr. Romero again. Even when closely guarded, he's able to score. That was the bounce pass that we saw after he came back in. Barea getting it to De Jesus. But San Juan, we have a problem, and his name is Mencia. You got to solve him because he is hurting you big time. 14 points for Yoanqui Mencia. Puerto Rico on top, Cuba on top, 43-37 at halftime.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Introduction from him straight into the game as quick hands takes it away. Lewis goes in for 2 plus the foul. Good work from Cadot with the steal.
Having his way with Puerto Rico. Barea knocks down the 3 off the dribble. Little pass, extra pass, baseline. Reverse dunk this time for Erwin Avalos. That's the second one he's made.
Puck now counting down. Pulls up for a Hail Mary 3.
Oh my Lord, have you ever seen such a thing? Well, Shaquille Harrison, this is your moment. I mean, this is incredible. B.J. Johnson takes a three-pointer. The ball goes right up.
It's rash offense right now from Virgin Islands. They're doing it on defense, though. Back-to-back turnovers for Dominican Republic, and this time Milligan makes the most of it.
Pulls Bartolo, what a pass. Rivero, muchos gracias, with a two-handed jam. Look at this in transition. It is the Rivero show.
Turned over by the Bahamas. Canada go up high, and the finish is good. Alexander gets the dunk.
Guzman takes a mid-range shot, ties the game up at 84 apiece. Well, look at the step back here. Guzman, Me llamo Guzman. It's game time.
Virgin Islands in transition, trying to make the most of it, but Victor leaves. with a captain's contribution on defense.
Isaiah Thomas now pulls up, big three. Isaiah Thomas, good night, Chihuahua, Mexico. That is all she will write tonight. It is the Isaiah Thomas show. That is what he does. Takes games over.
We have walked this land for a long time. We know how far we've gone, and we're sure of how far we can go. Unity is not just a word here. It's not just a spirit in this sport. It's the way we all move. We are proud of our art, country, family, language, and culture. We are united by basketball.
Welcome to FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022.
Well, there's the man that's been tormenting Puerto Rico tonight, Mencia. The full array of moves, whether it's three-point shooting, catching the low post and going up, or putting the ball on the deck and getting to the basket. He has been a handful. And unfortunately for Puerto Rico, they've got Isaac Sosa in their team. And he's helped stabilize things somewhat. Coming out scoring 10 points. And the only problem was that little run there that they had at the end of the first half. Cuba has been able to open up their lead. Went back up by 8, although Barea scored down low to get it back to a 6-point deficit at halftime. Tell you what jumps off the sheet at you when you look at some of the other stats. The 25 rebounds for Cuba, just 12 for Puerto Rico. And the 7 second chance points for Cuba, the 7 fast break points for Cuba. Just 2 fast break points for Puerto Rico, no second chance points. And also 8 more points in the paint for Cuba. Where Puerto Rico have done better is they've got guys coming off the bench contributing. And among them is that man right there, Isaac Sosa. He's got 10 of the 13 points scored off the bench. There's a little foul trouble Puerto Rico have to manage with Romero and Jordan Bernard Murphy, each with 3 fouls. No, excuse me. Carol Guzman also has 3 fouls for Cuba. Now in the NBA, you might get that call. So he was slapped with a technical. So the technical foul, they didn't take it before they left, but they're going to take it before they start. I thought they had called a technical foul, but they just left. Now, what if Puerto Rico loses this game by 1? A technical free throw. And I'm not sure why everybody's standing around. Must be a minute of silence I wasn't aware of, so I'll be quiet.
Minuto de silencio fue en memoria de la mamá de nuestro jugador Fabián Jaimes. En paz descanse.
So apologies for that. I'm not sure what that was. I think someone may have passed away there.
In the first quarter, we made 4 turnovers in early. 3 in a row. We have to take about the ball. Tenemos que cuidar la bola. Okay. We start on defense. Gentlemen, remember what I call 12, Piñero, José Macho, Mael y Chris. Tiene la bola, Piñero, pase, you go. No middle. Déjalo ahí. Piñero, take it out.
1-3. Cuba. Vamos a empezar bien el cuarto.
I'm not sure what the deal is with Devin Collier, but he did play 17 minutes against Mexico in the first round, but he's walking around over on the bench like he's not entirely happy. It could be that he's carrying an injury and he can't play, but so here's the technical free throw that's being taken by Cuba after the Brea explosion there at the end of the first half, and Mencia misses. Second half action underway in Chihuahua, Mexico. Cuba battling away with Puerto Rico. They've led by as many as 14 points. Right now it's 6. And Mencia, who missed the technical free throw, now misses the layup. Romero has the 3 fouls. Gets it over to Piñero. Barea wide open. And then Rivera fumbles it out of bounds.
Hey, nine.
Big pass down low, and the miss triggers the break. Here's José Rivero, and he gets the layup. Christopher Ortiz got back on defense, but didn't do much. Couldn't stop Rivero. Oh, dangerous pass from Ortiz. Barea puts it up and in. Well, he's fearless. See if there's a. I think there is. There's some hand checking when he drove, but not much else. Now Sosa trying to deny Polas the ball, and he gets whistled for a foul. So Pinheiro has to exit. He's picked up his third foul as well. And Barea has it. Barea, when he gets emotional the way he has tonight, when he complains a little bit, he usually ends up playing better. And he almost scores with the reverse layup there. So he gets the trip to the line. Watch this again. Now missing his first. It's been a nightmare at the line tonight for Puerto Rico. Polas flies in, is swatted. Ortiz. And bodies flying everywhere. Rivero helps up his compatriot, Polas. Oh, look at Romero getting aggressive and going to the basket. That was Polas at the other end, and that was the terrific block. And Romero's free throw shooting woes continue. So he's now 2 for 8 from the line and cuts it back to a 5-point game. Oliva back to José Rivero. He gets it. No, he was trying to get it to the corner, but Romero going behind his back. Over to Barea, and Romero there for the follow. just can't collect it. And Puerto Rico going to have to pick it up a notch. They're playing with fire here against Cuba. There's Rivero. He couldn't control it. Puerto Rico have it. Haven't seen a sense of urgency from Puerto Rico. Maybe a little bit. Barea, the bounce pass again. Oh, boy. You see the quality in Barea. He's still got it, doesn't he? Look at this. Calling the offense and saying, okay, here comes the pass. Get ready for the bounce pass, and we'll get the layup. Rivero the baseline. And the follow is there for Polas. Back to a 5-point lead for Cuba. So he hands it off to Romero. Romero stays with it. And banks it in. Great rebounder, great tenacity. Relentless. 12 points, 6 rebounds. Now Cuba have committed a foul. Polas. So Puerto Rico could tie it with a 3. Is this going to be the moment where they finally pull even? They were ready for the bounce pass that time. There's Barea again, traveling the call on Barea. But he has to be careful. He doesn't want to pick up another technical because he'll have to take an early shower if that's the case. Isaiah Howard back out. Oliva sinks the first. So back to a 4-point game. And Rivera for the offensive rebound and putback, no, but Cubilla was there. And Rivera was like, what's happened to me tonight? I can't get anything to go. Romero out to the corner. Pass around. Ortiz back to the right corner, and Cuba have it. Oh, that's a charge all the way. Mr. Kuten. has to know when it's time to pull up the dribble or make the pass. Tried to cut into the lane, but it's De Jesus. Ortiz tried to make a Berea-like bounce pass. Boy, Puerto Rico just not in sync, not sharp. And once again, they are definitely playing with fire against this Cuba team. Puerto Rico do not want to lose both games in this window, obviously, but I mean, it's going to hurt their chances of getting to the World Cup in a big way. Oliva, he misses from three. Now a chance to run for the Boricuas. Here they come. Kutin with the foul. So free throws coming for Puerto Rico, something they haven't done well all night. Puerto Rico 4 of 12 at the stripe. So both free throws good. Breaks with recent tradition and cuts into that deficit for Puerto Rico. Oliva. Polas from way out. Misses everything, so it's going to be Puerto Rico basketball. Romero puts it up. So Polas and Rivero go sit down. And the question is, okay, Rivera hasn't played great tonight, but how long will he and Polas stay on the bench? Well, they're being helped because Puerto Rico missing a lot of free throws. Three-point shot, Oliva. Oh boy, the ball falls kindly, and Kubia still misses. Romero backing up, gets down low. Oh yeah, he powers his way up and in. 2-point game now. Guzman. Somebody needs to step up and hit a shot for Cuba. They're struggling. Ooh, almost passed to himself there. Shot clock about to expire. Don't tell me he was trying to bank that in. Did he get it off in time? And the answer is no. Saying Polas wants him to look at the at the video replay to see if the ball hit the rim, but they can't. Because if it had, it would have reset the shot clock. Uh-oh, Bernard Murphy gets in. Oh, boy, that was it. That would have tied it. Now if Cuba go down to score, that's really going to sting. Here he goes again, Mencia. Boy, they have a lid on the basket now. Romero pushing it quickly. Bernard Murphy, he's not going to miss this one. And Puerto Rico have finally tied it up. Three-point attempt, and Cuba have lost their mojo here. Romero. And Puerto Rico driving in, getting to the free throw line. So Rodriguez has a chance to put him in front. Good work, Romero. He goes to take a seat. Parker Rivera back in the game, but we're going to have a timeout with 1:17 remaining. Let's go down to the bench.
Están fuera. Karen y García. Mencia, Osmel. Para todo el mundo. ¿Aquí quién está? No, el Neisser. Y Iván está acá afuera. La bola, el pase, la bola a quién? A Cubilla. Es mano a mano, pasar, cogerla y tú ir directamente a buscar a Mencia. ¿Entendía? Si no pagas la pelota, tiene los pagos en Cubilla. Cubilla es para ir para los 3 segundos. Deja que la pelota es, estoy por este lado, voy a Cubilla, recojo la pelota y este viene a hacer la pantalla de Mencia para que juegue.
Well, it really feels kind of like Cuba all of a sudden are running out of steam. Coach Moya took Rivero and Polas out of the game. So the question remains, how long will they stay out of the game? Also, Guzman's out. So here he is, chance to put the Border Collies in front. And he does. Their biggest lead of the game, 1 point. Oh, what a motion that is. He makes 1 of 2. So if Cuba can score, they'll reclaim the lead. Facing a little bit of pressure. Olive over to Kutin. And that is a shot clock violation. It's interesting. I mean, it's easy for me to say, but whatever works, works. Three-point attempt. And Rodriguez gets another 2. He stretched the lead to 3 now. Good pass, Kutin. Seems like Cuba's short on all their shots now, so that is how the third quarter finishes. (53-50), Puerto Rico on top of Cuba at the end of 3. Well, those are the numbers. Free throw shooting not great for either team. Cuba still dominating on the glass. 18 more rebounds. See Mencia and Romero each with 14 points. Still waiting. Thinking we're going to get some highlights here. Well, De Jesus has 10 points. Sosa has 10 points, and Ismael Romero with 14 leads all scores for Puerto Rico. 14 points for Mencia. Hasn't been quite as explosive. Hasn't scored, in fact, in the second half. Rivera has 11. Polas has 8 for Cuba. There's the app I was telling you about. Get that in your smartphone. You have all the information about the World Cup qualifiers at your fingertips. We're underway here in the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico finally moved in front right there at the end of the third. Cuba looking out of sorts here in the second half. Need to rally. Polas back in the game. Rodriguez puts it up, and the rebound, Kubila. Chacon in the game, number 3. Polas has the ball. The Chacon, and Mencia with the rebound. Over to Chacon again. Falls back on 1 foot. And a foul, Puerto Rico. See the Puerto Rico bench, especially Perea, trying to get his guys focused. Got to play hard for the next 9 minutes. Now the pass whipped over to the other wing. It's good. The 3 ties it. How about that? Oliva. Certainly his biggest shot of the night. His second 3-pointer. Puerto Rico are trying to get some breathing room, and now that shot has injected some life into the Cubans. Look at him, Oliva. He's everywhere. Oh, they pass it, and the great defense means that Puerto Rico did not get a shot off before the shot clock. And that serious gaze by Eduardo Moya is a signal that his team means business here in the fourth quarter. Huge shot from Oliva. Huge. And then look at him, diving on the floor for the ball. And Puerto Rico did not get the shot off in time before the shot clock. Well, Cuba barely lost to the USA in their opening game. Puerto Rico barely lost to Mexico. Who's going to win tonight? Polas. Ball knocked away. Here come the Boricua. And Parker fouled as he goes up. Parker Rivera goes to the line. He has not scored tonight. He's not attempted a free throw. Reprieve for Cuba. Okay, the free throws. If Puerto Rico do not win this game, they will point to the free throws just like they did after the game against Mexico. And he misses both. Incredible. .53 apiece. Less than 8 minutes remaining. Polas. Shot clock winding down. Kutan again. And Kubila kept it alive. Bernard Murphy gets it up, and the Boricuas go in, and there he is. He's not going to miss that, is he? Parker Rivera dunks Puerto Rico back in front. Kutan with the bounce pass to Kubila, and Kubila has to go to the line to earn him the hard way. Almost had a chance for a three-point play. So Polas comes out. Guzman comes back in. Carol Guzman. Norman Polas has one foul. The coach thinking he needs to come out. And Kubila misses both of the free throws. So Cuba's free throw shooting has been woeful as well. And Kubila rebounds it, gets it over to Kutan. Isaiah Howard, 1 of 4 from three-point range. Puerto Sosa hasn't come back out. Here he is, and Mencia, the man that had the hot hand in the first half, does not have the hot hand in the second. Isaiah Howard goes in, lays it up, and he'll go to the line where he made 2 already. Eduardo Moya feels the game starting to slip away. So Rivero coming back into the game, rested, refreshed, and the question is he ready to go? Isaac Sosa also back in the game. So Isaac Sosa back for the Puertoriquas. Well, one thing's for sure, if you want to find a free throw shooter in this game tonight, he's wearing number 3, a red number 3, because Isaiah Howard has, Jordan Isaiah Howard has made all of his. He's 4-4, and here he is getting it to Parker, and then he dumps it off to that man Rodriguez, who got him in front. And now Jonathan Rodriguez has laid his basket, has pushed the lead to 6. Points have completely dried up for Cuba. They were outscored 16-7 in the third quarter, and they're being outscored 6-3 in the fourth. That was definitely a foul of Sosa. Polas comes back in. Cuba just need to rediscover. They need to get that bounce back in their step that they had early on. Polas thought about launching it. Oh, he banks it in right at the shot clock buzzer. Colon calls the play from the sidelines, coming up on the 5-minute mark in the game. 3-point shot, Sosa not there. The rebound, Polas. Uh-oh, this is Cuba looking dangerous again, but Polas's pass led Guzman too much and goes out of bounds. Question is, did he get rid of it in time? I don't think Puerto Rico complained too much, to be honest. Isaiah Howard there for the follows, Romero. Well, Cuba need to learn the art of boxing out because Romero just flew in for the putback jam. He's got 16 points, 7 rebounds. Now the ball fumbled away into the Puertoriquas. Here they come. And they're in no rush with 4.5 minutes remaining. Romero, shot clock down to 10. Rodriguez lets it fly. Rivero picks up the dribble. Gets it over to Kutin. And what? Cuba have just lost completely all of their offensive acumen, direction, confidence. They just can't put the ball in the basket. And Bernard Murphy a little too late. As bad as it's been for Cuba, they're down 6 points. So there's plenty of time for them to rescue this game. But it's not looking good right now, especially with Isaiah Howard taking over and Romero back in the game, crashing the boards. Jesus getting tangled up there with Guzman. Oh boy, he threw it off of the back of Romero in the inbounds. And then Bernard Murphy came barreling over, hit Cooten, sent him flying off the court. Watch this. He throws it off Romero. That would have been a good one. You see that? It has happened before. And then Murphy, diving for the ball, collides with Cooten, who just goes hurtling off the hardwood. So timeout on the court. Cooten feeling the effects of Murphy.
Cuando él driblea para arriba de cualquiera de los dos, driblea para arriba del 4, usted va adentro para que Jaciel te saque. Para jugar interior o triple. Si juega para el lado de Jaciel, tú entras y Jaciel también te saca. Eso es lo que vamos a ver. Pero lo más difícil es que estamos tirando y tirando bajo el aro. Nos estamos metiendo contraataque, no estamos metiendo bajo el aro, compañeros. Venga, vamos, aquí. Aquí, 1, 2, 3.
Cuba inbounded Polas, the right, off the front of the iron. Rivero had the ball. Romero reached in, hit it, and it went out of bounds. And Mencia's problems in the second half continue as he fumbles it away, or it's knocked away from him. And the only good thing is the clock has stopped with Romero going to the line for Cuba. There you go. He can do it. Third made free throw tonight for Romero. Wow. He made both of them. Look at that. You can see the reaction on the bench. That's a rare sight. Both of those going in. But he makes them with the game in the balance, which means he's a big-time free throw shooter at the right moment. Polas goes up, and Cuba have just completely lost every type of talent, skill, shooting the basketball on offense. But here we go. De Jesus called for the charge. Ooh. Boy, Polas fell back and really hit his head. Hopefully he's okay. You could see his head bang off the hardwood. He might need to come out. Help him up. Make sure he's okay. Polas should sit down after that. You can see that he really cracked his head on the court. It's nothing worse than having a head injury like that. So hopefully he's okay. He's over there on his own. So that could be it for him tonight. Holding his mouth, but really it was his head. Well, desperation time, to put it mildly, for Cuba. Mencia was virtually unstoppable early, but he can't really do much right now. There's Murphy playing some D on him. Pretty good D, it looked like, from Murphy. Well, even the free throws are staying out for Cuba now. It's a disappointing conclusion to what, when they actually had a brilliant start to the game, but they have just not been able to get anything going on offense in this second half, and especially in this fourth quarter. Whew, boy, it has gotten ugly at the free throw line as well for Cuba. (11 of 22), 50%, 45.83% for Puerto Rico. How about that? The three-point shot from Isaiah Howard. And again, his free throw shooting really helped stabilize things tonight. Not just his free throw shooting, but overall. 10 points, 6 assists, 4-4 at the line. And Oliva loses it as he gets down low. And with a minute and a half remaining, Puerto Rico are closing in on victory, up 10. Jonathan Rodriguez. And Jonathan Rodriguez, another of the heroes in this game for what he's been able to do since coming in. He's got 8 points. Rivero. It's just going from bad to worse for Cuba. They just cannot buy a bucket. They can't buy a free throw. Now 11 of 23 at the line. They've been outscored. They've scored 12. Make it 13 points now in the second half. They've been outscored 32-13. Minute remaining. Well, you don't get points for being impressive for a whole half or first 10 minutes. That's not how it works. You got to play for 40 minutes. Well, with the game drawing to its inevitable conclusion, a Puerto Rico victory. We have another timeout. I think it's safe to say Devin Collier is not going to play tonight.
Murphy, man. Close it out. Howard. Saca Jonathan. Otro. Es que qué, macho? De Riel. Jonathan, Ismael, Murphy, Howard, Desriel. Okay, listen. Desriel, here. Howard, perdón, Ismael, para el canasto. Murphy in the elbow. You go high, and go Howard. Howard receives the ball. You go to the other side. El que está arriba saca macho. Spray the floor. Protect the ball.
We gotta get back. Protect the ball. Get back on defense.
Let's go.
So here's De Jesus showing us some of his ball handling tonight. Here's De Jesus again. And boy, Isaiah Romero had an easy one. Just need to go up and dunk it. And Guzman stops the rot, but it's too little, too late for Cuba. So the foul puts Puerto Rico back on the line. No, it doesn't. They're not in the penalty yet. So with 19.5 seconds to go, I would be surprised if Cuba did foul. De Jesus playing keep away, gets it over to Bamar Murphy, and final seconds ticking off the clock. Oliva and Mencia finally gets one to drop after a prolonged struggle in the second half. After losing his shot, it's Puerto Rico winning at 69-58 over Cuba. So Puerto Rico get their first win. Cuba dropped to 0-2. So Romero Mencia hug, as you look at the stats, free throw shooting abysmal for both teams. I mean, that international levels just cannot be. And these teams, if they're lucky enough to get to the FIBA Basketball World Cup, obviously they would have to improve on that shooting percentage if they had any designs on being successful there. But overall, just a lot of work to do. Just a tale of two Cubas. I mean, they started so confidently. They were shooting the basketball well. They were fast breaking. They were confident. And Puerto Rico, once they started to feel a sense of desperation, they focused. They turned things around. So here are the standings. Puerto Rico go to the top. USA and Mexico obviously were playing tonight. And you can see Cuba down at the bottom, despite having put in a couple of good days of work. Only today they just kind of ran out of steam in the second half. So here are the best plays from the second half. Look at the pass from Barea. And the putback from Polis. Romero does get after it, doesn't he, on the glass. And for a guy who doesn't shoot free throws well, he does have a good game inside. It's not to say that he has a game like Shaquille O'Neal's, but remember Shaq couldn't shoot free throws, which is why they had Hack-a-Shaq. But that didn't make him ineffective. He was still effective, and that's the same thing with Romero. I mean, he's going to play. If he ever did improve his free throws, though, he would be a load to deal with. Rodriguez was terrific tonight, as was this man right here. And Romero was not short of intensity. Puerto Rico got some good play from Jordan Isaiah Howard. Finished with 7 of 10. He had 10 points and 7 assists. So 11 rebounds, in fact, for Jordan Bernard Murphy. So Cuba will be at home February 24th and 27th, taking on Mexico and Puerto Rico respectively. For Puerto Rico, they on the 24th will play against USA and Cuba, although we don't know where those games are going to be. In fact, all of them. So one final time tonight, it was Puerto Rico. Well, they trailed by 14 points, and it started to look a little dubious, but in the end, they came back to win, leading by as many as 14 points before walking off the court. 69-60 winners over Cuba.